I want you to get together.
Hello everyone, John Coleman here. It's the 1st of May. I don't know about yourselves, but I'm just feeling a little bit more optimistic. As you can see, I still need a haircut, but thankfully that hopefully will be sorted in the next couple of weeks. So fingers crossed society does begin to reopen in a fuller way and in a safer way in the next few months. We can all get back to living a more normal life. But anyway, just want to kind of give you a review of what's happened in the last month. Only one place really to start with, and that's the news that KBC are potentially leaving the Irish banking market. Following on so quickly after the announcement of Ulster Bank, it was a big shock. There's no way to say it any other way, but it is bad news for the consumer. Now, where does it stand right now? Well, right now, basically, they're in talks with Bank of Ireland for Bank of Ireland to buy them out. Does that mean they're absolutely going? No, it doesn't. But all the signals would suggest that is what's going to happen. What does it mean right now for people who are actually with their mortgage with KBC or looking to get KBC to lend the money? Again, in the short term, it means absolutely nothing. They are still open for business. They are slightly curtailing their exceptions, but they are still lending money for sure. What it will mean in a more long-term basis for someone who has a mortgage with KBC currently or is due to take one out with them is that whenever they actually do leave, if they do leave, that they will be, if it was Bank of Ireland that owned them, then it would be Bank of Ireland who would be offering you a choice of their new rates. Now, at that point, you could ultimately decide to stay with Bank of Ireland or choose to move to another lender. On a more kind of general basis, well, why have they left or why are they leaving? Everyone kind of has this conception that banks make lots of money. Well, the truth is, the central bank introduced regulations back after the crash back in 2008 to protect the consumer, to make sure that banks never nearly went out of business again. And basically, they have required them to keep a higher level of reserves than anywhere else in Europe. So ironically, the move that the central bank have made to protect the consumer has an effect. Well, it's caused both Ulster Bank and KBC to believe that they can make more money elsewhere because they're not profitable enough here in Ireland. So how does that get resolved? Well, obviously, greater minds than mine will ultimately looking to solve that particular conundrum. It's like a case of, well, how do we best protect the consumer, but at the same time give the consumer as much choice as possible? And hopefully the central bank will find the right solution that does both those things. So, because for the moment with two banks leaving, it certainly reduces choice, which is never good for the consumer. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on any updates on the KBC situation. And obviously for the moment, you just hopefully the staff that are there, they'll find themselves suitably employed elsewhere if it comes to pass. So what's happening in the property market? Well, it's sort of a little bit more sane, might be the right word to describe it. People seem to be just gearing themselves up for when they can properly start looking at houses. As I predicted last month, a couple of deals that my clients had bought houses of without actually seeing it have actually fallen through, and that was to be expected. But I'm not seeing it on a mass basis. Just one or two that might have happened anyway. So the banks, oh my God! Well, at the moment there's such a backlog. There's such a shortage of properties that it's creating such a demand for people to get themselves approved that the banks are now taking between 3 to 4 weeks to get a full approval. So I might sound like a broken record here, but before you really get serious about buying a property, you need to have all your paperwork together. You need a bank to say yes, because you're only going to just really disappoint yourself and really frustrate yourself. It breaks my heart to have to tell people when they suddenly get the paper and say, I've seen a house, I really want to buy this house. And I'm saying to them, well, it's going to take 3 or 4 weeks. And they're going, oh, but it's going to be gone. And unfortunately, the banks just are so inundated with people looking to get mortgage approval that they are trying to increase their staff numbers, but that's a slow process. and it doesn't happen overnight. But so that's my kind of last piece of advice. Again, don't get ultra serious until you have the bank saying yes. But anyway, that's my report for the month of April. Hopefully, the beginning of June, you'll see me with a new haircut, and maybe the banking world will become a little bit easier and quicker to get approval, and there will be more supply on the market. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future.